Wonderful. So, Gill,
Yeah.
I mean, we're being told by our loved ones that the staff are rubbish.
Yes, when I was in charge of the ward, that was quite a common occurrence. The staff are rubbish. The staff won't let me out. They won't let me in. They won't let me sit. They won't let me stand. They don't know about the salt and pepper at the table. They don't know anything. So a mum came to me one day and she said, my daughter is really, really upset. And I said, oh, yes. And she said, yes, she's ringing me up 6 times a day. In those days, we didn't have mobile phones. We had a telephone box in the middle of the ward. She's ringing me up and she's telling me that all these terrible things, that she's being tortured, she says to me, on the ward. She's tortured and we're all awful people. So I said, oh, let me just go and find your daughter then. She said, yes, she's just rung me and I've come to the ward now to save her and see what's wrong. So we went off to find her and there she was sitting with half a dozen other patients, laughing and joking. So what happens is she goes into the telephone box, she torments her mother with these stories, and she comes out and she's laughing and smiling and walking down the ward as though there's nothing wrong with her. And that happened regularly. I had to regularly tell parents that that is an occurrence that they'll have to get used to. About that. Now, laughter for me this is a terribly serious illness. The mortality rate is high. And when I first worked with Janet Treasure, she was training me up to be a therapist and see patients. And I'd have a room next to hers. And one day I was very serious with my patient in the room, and suddenly I could hear these voices shrieking with laughter, literally shrieking with laughter from the room next door. And I thought, oh, well, if Janet can laugh, so can we. And we never look back. At every session that I've had with anybody, in fact, the patients love it. They love to find amusement. If I tell them stories about things, they love it. And they really relax and are able to be more expressive about their emotions then. Yeah.
Brilliant. There you go.